Today is Sunday, October 18th, I think. Welcome to episode 19 of Knits and Stuff. My name is Alicia, and today I'll be talking about works in progress, pretty things, local delights, and wibbly wobbly timey wimey. But first, welcome to those of you that are new, and thanks for returning or for coming back for those of you that are returning. And if you haven't already, there's a group on Ravelry that you can join. It's called Knits and Stuff Podcast, and I will put a link in the show notes, which will be at knitsandstuff.wordpress.com. So let's get started. No finished objects this week, but I do have some works in progress. I'm still working on the basic knee-high toe-up socks by Leslie from Single Stitch, and those are in, they're on US 1s 2.25 millimeters, and this is Mustache Yarn Perfect Sock in the Sesame colorway, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? I keep getting the numbers mixed up. It's a long striped repeat. I just got to the heel, or I'm in the middle of the heel right now, and I can bring it a little bit closer. And this is where I left off the last time you saw it, which was probably like a month ago. And so I knit a little bit on it recently, and this is still the first sock. And I am incorporating the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I started with the toe-up socks with a difference for the foot, and then as I pass the heel, I'll start using the basic knee-high pattern so I can do the increases. And I think I'm just gonna knit until I run out of yarn. And I had, when I was doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel, I started it yesterday, and for some reason I thought I had already memorized the pattern, which I didn't, and I ended up doing, instead of the twisted stitches that you're supposed to do, or the twin stitches, not twisted, the twin stitches, I was just wrapping and turning, and so that's what all of this extra yarn is. I had to frog some of it, so yeah, but now it's back to normal, and yeah, moving along with that. And it's currently in my needle runs through it project bag, so yeah, that's that. And then I started another pair of socks with some yarn that I just got. It's more of the Mustache Perfect Sock yarn in the Dark Side of the Moon colorway, and I just got it on Tuesday. This is what the skein looks like, and it's a self-striping yarn also, and I just started the toe, and I'm just doing toe up again, pretty much the same as the Sesame one, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to make them knee high or not. It's the same yardage too, because it's the same yarn, but I don't know. We'll see how the other ones turn out, and then I'll see if I want to make these just as tall. So and I think the stripe progression is a dark stripe and then like a rainbow, and then a lighter stripe, or then dark stripe and then a lighter and then dark, and then yeah, then it keeps going. So yeah, just started this one a couple days ago, and then I have some spinning works in progress, but that is downstairs, so on my wheel still, and I didn't want to bring it upstairs yet. So I'm going to put a picture of it somewhere here, and I think I can overlay a picture, but I'm spinning Cross Patch Creations Signature Blend Stone Soup, and it's the fiber that I bought a few weeks ago from Carolina Homespun at Dixon Lambtown, and there's at least 4 ounces, although I think there is quite a lot more than 4 ounces because I still have a lot left, and I'm maybe about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way full on the bobbin. And I think I'm just doing 1 single ply, but I might decide to chain ply it afterwards to make a 3-ply, but I haven't decided yet. So, because I think I'm gonna have a lot of yardage, and it's spun like maybe a light fingering. It's not completely even, but it's probably in between lace to fingering. So it might be, I don't know what I'm gonna make out of it too. I was thinking like a shawl maybe, but yeah, so that depends on whether or not I want to ply it up or just leave it as a single. So yeah, that is all my works in progress. So that would bring us to pretty things, which the mustache yarn was one pretty thing. And then I also bought some stuff from Madeline Tosh. They had a sale a week ago, last weekend, or last week I think, and so I bought some stuff and grab the bag. So I got a couple things. The first one is some Tosh Merino Light, and I think it was a sample dye because it was slightly cheaper than what the other Tosh Merino Light is, I think. So this is the colorway that was listed as Neon Lot A, so that's what it looks like, and it actually looks pretty similar to what I'm spinning up right now with the white and the speckled. I've been really into the like speckled yarns lately, so this is Tosh Merino Light, and it's fingering, light fingering, and it's, yeah, just 100% merino. And then I also got some sport weight yarn, and this is their 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon in a sport weight, and the colorway is called Heroine, and this is also, as you can see, a very speckled look. So yeah, so that's the second skein. And then I bought this cute little kit of their mini skeins, and so they put together 5 skeins, and hopefully this isn't too loud, the plastic. So they put together 5 skeins, and then this, I think they call this bundle Autumn Leaves, at least that's what was listed on the website. It was also listed as Painterly, which I'm not sure if that was just like the type of set, or I'm not sure. But these are 50 yards each of I think the DK twists, and the colors include Modern Fair Isle, Optic, Cosmic Wonder Dust, and Holly Festival. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but if you have any ideas of a cute project that would use this amount. So this was 250 yards total. I guess I could do like a cowl, like a striped cowl, or maybe something that's like patchwork. I don't know. So yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know. But yeah, so that is Pretty Things. So I kind of bought a lot of stuff recently. But hopefully I also bought one more thing. It's not yarn, but I got the I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday, and I got the Noro spring summer, I think that's what it was, knitting magazine. I think this is an older issue because it says to display until September 1st. But it's issue 4, and I was really intrigued by the stitch patterns that they have, which is why I bought it. I really like this this woven looking one. It's called Woven Tile. And so I really liked that. And then I also liked a couple of the patterns, which I will point out. There's a bag, and I've made a bag out of Nora before for one of my friends, and I kind of wish I made one for myself too. So I like that one. And then I really like the top of this hat. It's really pretty, but the way they designed it. And that's called the Rosemary Drysdale cap, or that's the name of the designer. Yeah, and let's see, where's the other one? Lace wrap. Huh, that's weird. I'm looking for the title of the hat, but it doesn't look like it has one. And then, let's see, there was also, there's a bunch of different sock patterns in here, which I thought would also be pretty useful, because I got that normal sock yarn and I just made some rib socks, but because I didn't want to take away from the colors by doing some crazy pattern, but these really showcase the colors that Noro has, so yeah, so I was intrigued by those as well. And then some of the other patterns I probably wouldn't make, but those were kind of the key ones that I liked. Yeah, there's actually one that I wanted to show that I wouldn't really wear, which is this one, the one with the holes. They have a lot of negative space patterns in this issue, so yeah, I don't know that I'd ever wear anything like that. But although I do like the stitch pattern on this dress. So yeah, that is it for pretty things. And so that would bring us to local delights. So Friday was there was an event at the Oakland Museum, and they actually have I guess they have this every week, but last Friday in particular they had corporate partner appreciation. So if you work for a company that is a partner of or a sponsor of the Oakland Museum, you get to get admission to their night, kind of like their nightlife, which is a California Academy of Science thing, but you get admission to the museum for free. And I think normally I forget, it was like $5 or $10 normally to go to the Friday night. I think they just call it Friday nights at Oakland Museum. So we went to that, and I could bring up to 3 other friends. So I brought Will and our 2 friends, and we went to the museum, and then right next to it they have Off the Grid, which I think I've talked about before. So if you're not familiar with Off the Grid, I think it's basically an organization that puts together food trucks, like a food truck location. So they, Off the Grid, themselves like provide the space and the like chairs and the power and to host all these food trucks in a location. So they have one at North Berkeley BART, which I've been to before and I might have mentioned on the podcast before, and then they have this one at the Oakland Museum. And so it's from 5 to 9 every Friday, and then the museum's also open from 5 to 9. So we went and got some food. There is a food truck called Koja Kitchen, and it's like Korean Japanese fusion. And they have these really good, I should have taken a picture, I'll link to it in the show notes, but they have what they call kamikaze fries and a Koja burger. And so what I got was the beef one, so it's like Korean barbecue beef in between 2 rice patties, like actual rice in the form of a patty, and or like a bun almost. And then the kamikaze fries are waffle cut fries with like meat and sauce and bunch of different flavors, like Korean, Japanese flavors. So good. And if we sat like on the side, and as people were walking by, they were like, what is that? I need to get that. And so I think we gave them some business too. So that was where we ate. And then we also had, later on, we had one of the creme brulee. We went to one of the creme brulee trucks to have we got 2 different little creme brulees, and one of them was a pumpkin and honey grams creme brulee, and then the other one was vanilla bean and like chocolate cookie and caramel flavored one. So those were also really good. And then, so the Oakland Museum itself, they have a couple different exhibits going on right now. One, I think they're all focusing on California and the history of California. So we spent a lot of time on the second floor, which was dedicated to the history of California, starting from the beginning of discovery and colonization, all the way to San Diego Comic-Con, which I thought was kind of funny, because when we got to the end of the exhibit, it's relatively in chronological order as you walk through it, and then when we got to the end, they had a little section where they showcased Comic-Con, and they had a booth where or a display case where they had like badges and the show guide, and I was like, hey, I have that. So that was kind of funny. And then there were some other interesting things that they had. I took some pictures, so I'll put some of them at the end, and if you want to see what the museum looked like. And then they also had the natural history on the first floor, which we didn't get to go to in time, and then they had the third floor was art, which I wish we had been able to spend more time, but by the time we got there it was already a half hour before closing, so by the time we got to that floor, so I didn't get to spend as much time on that one, but I took some pictures, and that's all. It was all California art. It was either by California artists or California inspired, or locations in California, or it's kind of hard to describe. Like they had a one piece that was just literally a piece of a dam and that failed, and it was concrete, and you could see all of the aggregate and everything on it. So yeah, that was the art floor, and yeah, so that was, yeah, there were just 3 floors, and then they have, Friday nights includes drinks, and we have to pay for them, but they have drinks, they have music, and they have coffee, which I wish I knew, because I would have gotten some coffee, and yeah, and it was like pour over coffee, not just like already brewed, sitting in a container. So that would have been nice to try. I think next time if I go back, I'm going to try their coffee because it looked good. Yeah, so if you're in the area, the museum is like less or exactly a block away from the Lake Merritt BART stop. So it's really easy to get to. I think they also have a parking lot, but if you're close to BART, it's probably easier, especially for the Friday night, because it seems pretty popular. It was really crowded, I think probably because of the food trucks and the music. And but yeah, if you're in the area or looking for something to do, it's also kid friendly. The museum part is, there are plenty of people with families, so yeah, it was nice, it was fun, and it's a lot easier to get to than the California Academy of Science, which has their nightlife on Thursdays. So yeah, if you're, or you could always do both, because one's on Thursday and one's on Friday. So yeah, so if you're looking for something to do, go see a museum, learn about California, yeah, I would recommend going to the Oakland Museum. So yeah, that is it for Local Delights, and now that means it's time for Wibbly Wobbly Timey-Wimey. This podcast episode, we'll be talking about 2 episodes of Doctor Who, last week's episode and the week before. So if you don't want to hear about him, if you haven't seen him yet, I'll put a spoiler alert here, and you can fast forward to the end when you don't see it anymore, or you can just stop now. And yeah, so spoilers, last warning. So episode 7 of season 8. Oh, before I get into this, I think last week I might have said that it was the last episode before they go on a break, but I guess they're not doing that this year, and I don't know why I thought they were. But it looks like they're going all the way through the whole season and not splitting it in half. So yeah, which is why we have an episode 7 and 8, and this week was episode 9. So yeah, episode 7, Kill the Moon, was about the doctor taking Clara and one of Clara's students to the moon, and they go about 30-40 years in the future, and discover that a team of I don't know if they were really scientists, but a team of astronauts were sent to the moon to destroy it, because something was wrong with it, and they find out that it was growing, so the gravity was higher and it was messing up things on the Earth, and that was because the moon is really an egg, and what was inside the egg was this big creature that also had a bunch of bacteria related to it, which were in the form of giant spiders. Which was terrifying. And yeah, but the spiders didn't end up being the main part of the story. So I liked the concept of the moon as an egg, and the idea that something was growing inside it, and as it got bigger, it eventually hatched, and then it relayed an egg, which was kind of weird, but it was okay. But it relayed an egg almost identical to the original one, so which became the new moon. And who knows how many moons there have been since then. And they did a really nice job making their set look like the moon. I think they were in some valleys, and yeah, it looked very moon-like. So yeah, I didn't like how the doctor brought along one of Clara's students, though. I kind of didn't understand why she was so important. I guess in the past couple episodes, when she goes to see him, ends up in his TARDIS, maybe the doctor is just bored, and Clara's busy with her boyfriend, so the doctor finds the next person who's willing to hang out. I guess he sees something in Courtney, the girl, but yeah, so he takes her to the moon, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm just jealous. Yeah, and there were a couple other parts of the episode that I didn't like how the doctor kind of gave up on Clara and the lady astronaut and Courtney, and he kind of just left them to figure out what to do, which, I don't know, he was just, the way he went about it was pretty mean. And so at the end, when Clara kind of exploded on him, I kind of wanted to go with Clara and be like, yeah, you know, doctor, you were messed up, and I don't know how you're gonna make this better. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe because they didn't end up resolving that, like the doctor never really apologized, so maybe I'm not right in thinking that he was wrong in what he did. But yeah, so that, I don't know, overall the episode was okay. I liked some of the parts, but didn't like some of the others. I'm glad they didn't end up blowing up the moon, because it would have been really sad, because it was a baby, and yeah. So yeah, that was kind of pretty much it for episode 7. And then episode 8 is called Mummy on the Orient Express, and I liked this one. I liked the concept that they had, that there was this myth of the foretold, and when you saw it, you had 66 seconds left to live. There was a mention of Agatha Christie-esque story with a lot of misdirection, which I was definitely misdirected because I thought the engine man was gonna have something to do with it, but he didn't. And yeah, so the plot of the story, the doctor takes Clara on. Oh, and I didn't even know that Clara was gonna be back for this episode, because they didn't show her in the previews, and she stormed off in the last episode. So I thought maybe she was gonna skip an episode and come back later, which I think I would have liked to see. But I guess what happened in between episode 7 and 8 was that there was some sort of resolution, or some sort of last hurrah, like Clara would go on one more adventure with the doctor and then that would be it, which at the end we see that's not the case. But so they go on a train called the Orient Express, and it's a train in space. Everything is dressed up, everyone's dressed like they're in the 20s, and it turns out that it's a train with a hologram, and someone has actually put together some of the leading scientists and historians to figure out what's going on with this foretold, basically mummy, and then everything else turns out to be fake, or the people that the secondary characters that they just end up disappearing, and then when they turn off the hologram, everything turns into this laboratory setting, yeah, so the mummy, the foretold, is picking off one person at a time, and the doctor is trying to figure out why. And at the end he finds out that it's because the mummy is a soldier and is being kept alive by this malfunctioning time life extension piece, and so he has to figure out the words to say to turn him off, and to essentially turn him off. And so I did like how so the mummy was picking off the weakest of each of the group one at a time. So he it was going after this one lady, and then the doctor was able to transfer her thoughts over to himself, so then the mummy went after him. And then when the doctor first saw the mummy, he went through this whole little monologue that I really liked. The doctor threw in, "Are you my mummy?" which is a reference to an older episode, The Empty Child, so that was kind of funny. And yeah, and the doctor was able to solve it in the end. So I did kind of like how he was the one that's actually doing the problem solving, although that kind of changes the dynamic, because Clara has been the one kind of in the past that has been taking the lead. So but I guess that's kind of gearing up for Clara's departure in a way. Yeah, I almost feel like Clara didn't have to be in this episode, so I kind of wish she wasn't, and that they had done like a jump, and yeah. So but at the end they never really say who's behind bringing all these people together, and I don't know, I'm guessing it probably has something to do with Missy and that whole nether world. So hopefully we'll find out soon, or at the end of the season. Yeah, and then so I liked the episode overall, but the end where Clara lies to Danny and is like, you know what, I'm gonna stick around with the doctor anyway because no one's gonna know, and I feel like something's bad's gonna happen to her now. Like she might die or something because she lied to Danny. But I don't know why the companions seem to treat their boyfriends so poorly when they go on the TARDIS. Because Rose was really mean to Mickey, and then Amy wasn't that nice to Rory in the beginning. So, and then Clara lies to Danny. I don't know why they have to be like that. But yeah, so that was all I have for episode 8. Feel free to let me know what you think about Doctor Who. I have to watch this week's episode. Yeah, so I'll talk about that in a couple of weeks too. And I think, yeah, we're more than halfway through the season now, but there's so much more left. And then there's the Christmas special, so yeah, lots of Doctor Who. Yeah, so that's all I have. This seems like it's been a longer episode. But thank you for watching. Social media stuff, I am Eliana Knits on Ravelry, Unperfect529 on Twitter and Instagram. And then don't forget about the podcast group on Ravelry called Knits and Stuff Podcast. And as always, show notes are at knitsandstuff.wordpress.com. So yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay, bye!